We're having conversation. One person should respond. Please go ahead.
These people forge documents. Don't look at them. They're my brothers. I know them.
Please respond to that, Quarrel.
You forged my signature and put in the internet.
Okay, it seems we're not able to get his response. Okay, now, all right. Very quickly there. Okay, let's come back to the studio. Sorry, we want to take them to Parliament.
Not Parliament, we'll go to court. All these things are
Gentlemen, we'd like to have a conversation. Gentlemen, we'd like to have a conversation. Nigerians will not be very happy with you if you do not let us address this issue firmly and clearly. So by shouting each other down or one another down, you will not be able to have a conversation. So please let us calm down and let us hear the opinion of individuals. Please permit me to now go back. Chief Ume, could you please let us hear what Kaidedo has to say? Okay. Yes, please, over to you.
Well, I don't know if you expect me to respond to the questions that were raised. I hesitate to, INEC is an umpire. I will crave that the moderator ask me the questions that I should respond to, because partisan questions are really
Section 20.
It's not the best for INEC to get involved in.
Okay, the question I would want to ask you then is on the issue of issuing electoral register 3 days before the election. Is that standard and is it legal?
Correct.
A new one. Why they were given a register on the day of the stakeholder meeting was because INEC discovered that the software that we used, which aggregates the age, automatically cut off 2 years from everybody, not just any set of people, everybody in the register. And that's why we said they can check whether there's any difference between the constituents in that register. Everybody in the register had his name reduced by 2 years by the software. And when I saw that, now that is not an issue for anybody who was 20 years in 2011. But it's an issue for anybody who was 18 and 19 in 2011. Because when 2 years are reduced, gets cut off by the software, that means that they will be indicated as 16 and 17. And the chairman challenged them at the stakeholder meeting before he told them what happened. They actually had to look at the register. He said, did you look at the register we gave you 30 days ago? When none of them responded in the affirmative, he said, we ourselves, when we were printing out this register, we discovered that the software cut off 2 years from everybody, not any set of people. And therefore, in readjusting it, we have to give you this copy of the register again. And the thing was demonstrated and explained at that meeting. I was at the meeting. Okay. Nobody controverted what took place at the meeting. Nobody came up to say there was a difference between the register they were given that day other than the age that was regularized. Nobody came out to say there was a difference between the number of people in that register and the number of people in the register that they were given 30 days earlier.
All right, thank you very much. Now, let me just 1 second, gentlemen. 1 second, gentlemen. I will take your point first, Chief Ume. Make your point very quickly, and everyone will please keep quiet, because I've got a message from one of the people on Twitter who is saying that if the gentlemen in the studio cannot put themselves in order in a simple gathering such as this, how do we expect to have the rule of the state if we cannot have this conversation? So please, we will all conduct ourselves properly and calmly. Now, Chief Ume, over to you. Please go ahead and make your point.
Because we are wasting useful time on this program, the issue of this register you are discussing here will not help us have any discussion here. There's what is called lawful custody. There's what is called authenticated document. This thing they are giving you here and they are asking questions based on them cannot be taken to be the correct register. I made a point that there's what they call cloning, And I know what these people did during the campaign.
Which
A lot
people are you
of
referring
people
to?
interested in the election. Let me not put
Please be clear on what you're saying so that there are no ambiguity.
They clone pictures, superimpose on another person's body frame, and do all kinds of scandalous write-ups, you know. These things have been happening. So I'm telling you, I'm putting it to you, that this register you have here, about 90% may not be the INEC register. This child that's here wearing a headgear with the circle and we are showing on camera, if you get INEC register, you may not see it there. They're capable of using techniques to inject things like this to come and.
But
where's your register?
Why should I come here with my register? Are we conducting an election here?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that the document, if they hold this view that this voters register contain these anomalies, they take them certified from INEC and tender it in court and prove their case. So I'm trying to tell you that all these things are not correct. They are not from the register.
Okay, thank you.
They tampered with the register and they want to deceive the public.
The point is simple. One of the complaints we have is disenfranchisement. And I say disenfranchisement can come in two forms. Number one, you can erase somebody from the voters register. He had seen his name in the former district given on election day, assuming without considering that even this is the one they use for the election. His name is no longer there. It happened. Okay. So I disagree completely with Kayode in what he's telling us here. Number two, disenfranchisement. You start the area of electoral material. You don't bring it. It was done in Idemili, the whole of entire Idemili North, with 175,000 registered voters. I'm an Idemili man. And the governor, before the election, told them in one of the campaigns, he went there and they petted him with such a let us see how you will vote. You think you can vote?
Were you there at that campaign?
God have mercy.
Were you there at that campaign?
But we have is my area.
Oh, some people told you. You heard.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, that's hearsay.
Yes. So what I'm telling you is that this voters register is faulty.
Okay.
I'm telling you also that, contrary to his assertion, the voters register given to us in 2011 was good. I contested that election and I looked at that register. I contested in 2010 election where we had minors, where we had disenfranchisement, just like we now have a replication. So what you're saying is not correct. So for them to claim that they did office, that they did clean up, that they did CVR, they completely deceived.
Let me ask clarifying about
and we fell in for it
very quickly then. Now, when you look at all of what has happened, and you've heard what Professor Atahiru Jega has said, and you know where this is all going, what is going to be your position in terms? I know in the newspapers this morning it's been said that you will not be contesting in the. What's your position?
3 of us met last tonight, to be precise, in my house in Abuja, and we countered Jega's position that we are not going to participate. That is first. Secondly, Jega has this document before him. He would be fair to Nigerians to tell Nigerians, look, I just discovered this. This is a crime against humanity. This is not, this is another Rwanda. This is another Rwanda. If you look at this, and this is not just peculiar to me, it was distributed to over 23 political parties.
But if I ask you, you had the opportunity of presenting it to Professor Jega.
He's with it. He's with this document. He's with my petition. He's with this document. He's with my petition and the petition of the PC. This is not even. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things coming up because you see, I've been given, because I have a lot of respect for Professor Jega. I've been giving them time for him to say no. There's a lot of anomalies. Okay. Let's cancel this election and then position ourselves and clean INEC, because nobody, international community, if this thing gets into United Nations, the problem will be on Nigeria, not just because of Anambra. This thing cannot happen in Nigeria.
So we have to
one more thing. It's not
Sorry, one by one. It's me now.
One more thing. I'm sorry, please. I have not finished. Secondly,
okay.
The diskette that was given to us 3 days prior to election was just a diskette. You can immediately ascertain any abnormality immediately. So what we thought is that the document represents something that was pasted 30 days before election. So we got in there and people were totally, in fact, in Norway, I have over 5,000 people that were disenfranchised. The ones I knew. Many people will get there and then they will see there and then they will go. But in a place where there's over 200, 300 people crying, and they need to be voted.
They need to vote.
They need to vote, sorry.
Unfortunately, please, he's asking me
we have to wrap up now. We have to wrap up.
Unfortunately, this matter is being sensationalized unnecessarily. Their complaint was initially disenfranchisement. In other words, you couldn't vote when you were a registered voter. Today, they're talking about minors, children, and all that. They've not been consistent with their story. And I ask you, if you talk about somebody being a minor, his name appearing in the register, you have to prove that the person voted. I don't know what advantage this thing conveyed to ABGA. This idea of we will not take part in this supplementary poll is for a very simple reason that there's nothing to redeem. If both of them go into the supplementary poll, what do they get?
Okay.
He won in 2 local governments. He won in 1. How can he go to supplementary poll now with the results available?
Chief,
so it is. I mean, the way we have conducted this thing with curious and suspicious documents.
So they have that this is go and prepare political party. Can you say
talking about minor?
Can you testify before Nigerians that if you discover that this is the first political party that you will resign as the chairman of the
so load this
the final word
and come to the tribunal.
Chief, you will please stop.
Before then I will put you on the board.
Final word.
Documents on the top
my final
to the
word
tribunal.
on the voters register, we have been shortchanged.
It's a big not that read the election. You are
in Edo and Ondo elections, Governor Adams Oshomole resisted tampering with the 2011 voters register. They didn't allow INEC to do CVR. In Ondo, the same thing played out, and that was why they used the 2011 voters register. Why did they do CVR in Anambra State if there was no ulterior motive?
It's what we announced in the Constitution.
That's one. Two, I'm also going into other areas of lapses.
We have to conversation now.
We have the staff disposition.
We are
having the staff disposition.
You would have asked him why those people that were arrested
the staff disposition in INEC is in the petition I sent to INEC.
You don't want to say what
2011, we had a resident electoral commissioner there, Professor Anukogu. He showed animosity to my party, the SCN. He cancelled elections in some House of Assembly constituencies where we won. He cancelled so he kept staff.
Okay.
He kept staff that were not good to them.
Okay.
Even staff of Unizik were used in this election. When the deputy governor candidate comes from Unizik institution, out of context. I don't know why you are
new election.
This is
your government has done well.
No. I go back to the context.
I'm ready to show my victory. Why are you afraid of a new election? We won in 20 local government. I want you to go back to with all that power. Why are you afraid of a new election? Why are you afraid, sir? So that's my question. If you are sure, I'm ready to my elections. I'm ready to throw my victory out. Why are you afraid?
Correct documents will appear.
Why are you afraid? If really you know that you have the mandate of the people, why are you afraid?
So when you win, you continue going back.